My mom and dad, they moved into the house before I was born. They have 8 children, and there was American dream for them because they were originally in a bad part of the town with their kids, and my mother always wanted to get her kids out of that neighborhood and get them into a better neighborhood where they wouldn't be surrounded by gang violence and things like that, and that they could walk the streets and enjoy their home. My parents, they were married for 64 years before my mother died, right at 65 years before she died. And they spend most of that time in that home. We were making the payments via Western Union because the EMC requires that you do a quick collect, the Western Union. And I would do that on my dad's power of attorney on the property, in addition to things. This past late November, early December, I was involved in a serious burn accident. So when I got out, I made the payment. I didn't know that the actual payment amount, I knew the approximate amount was approximately 13, and some change, 90 something. So I rolled it up to $1,400. At the time, they didn't tell me that was a problem. I did tell them I made it over for the amount. However, when I was going to make the next payment, I received something in the mail, and I was calling in to make the next payment, and they said EMC didn't accept the last payment. And I didn't know that they hadn't accepted the last payment, so I called EMC on it and say, hey, what's going on? They didn't accept the last payment, and the money is still outstanding. I can't make a payment on top of that payment. She made it seem like the $1,400 was an improper payment and that it some kind of way defaulted the note. And so it was not something that it was supposed to be serious. I didn't think it was serious. She didn't say that you're in jeopardy of losing the house. And they said, well, we need to have loss mitigation, call you back. We can't direct forward. They put you through that where you can't go directly to the people. And so I made sure I read it. Well, we want to take care, we want to comply. We don't want to do anything to jeopardize this. This is so important to us. When I went back to make the next payment again, I called them and, I said, what do we do? I still have an outstanding payment, so I can't make another payment. And, somebody's supposed to contact us. What do? We want to be right here. We just want you to tell us what to do. And the rep said, the property was sold on the 3rd. And this is only a few days after I had talked to them on the phone. I said, what do you mean the property sold? And he's like nonchalant, the property was sold. I am just horrified and devastated, and my dad is devastated. He's just in just total mental denial, just like, I know they can't do that, no one's gonna do it. And I said, we're gonna fight you. Not once on the phone did they say, you will lose your property. We have a sell date on your property for a few days out. And we've accelerated and done some type of fast accelerate so that we could take your home away from you. Never. Nobody should be able to come in there and just rob them of their home of 45 years because of a, technicality or miscommunication between EMC's departments. They got that TARP money, they got that bailout money. The least they can do is step up and help one of our World War II veterans that served our country with honor. He loves this country. He served with passion. He did the right thing. He worked 40 years on a job. Their money is still at Western Union. I don't know what to do to try to help them get right. We weren't trying to do it. It's just that if I couldn't physically make it and I called them, what else do you do?